50 accounts, full research briefs, funding history, key decision makers, strategic angles, all of that. All of that in 30 minutes. No Crunchbase tab hopping, no reading 10Ks, no copying and pasting into spreadsheets. I'm going to show you the exact Claude workflows that I use to research target accounts with AI. And the best part is the research is actually pretty accurate. Welcome back. My name is Zarif and I work as an account executive. And if you've ever sold into enterprise accounts, you know the research grind. So with my old process, I'd have to go to a company's website, read about their about page, then open up Crunchbase to check out funding, pull up a 10K, try to make sense of all these financials, and then finally use LinkedIn to map out the org chart. And I do this for one company at a time. And oftentimes it would take me an entire day to actually research maybe 8 to 10 accounts, sometimes 2 days. And that's valuable time that I could get back focusing on any of the other number of tasks that a salesperson has to focus on. The worst part, I could do all that work and still miss something. Still get on a call and realize I didn't know about a recent acquisition or a leadership change or a product launch that completely shifts everything about the conversation. That's not the case anymore. Today, I'm going to show you how I use Claude's research mode to do this in a few clicks. Let me show you exactly how it works. All right, here's what I'm working with. I've got Claude open and we're going to use research mode. Honestly, there's a few LLMs out there that have research mode. I'm just using Claude right now because it's what I pay for, but you can use this with most LLMs that are in the market right now. But you want to be sure that you turn on research mode. And in Claude, how you do that is you select plus sign. Right now I have web search on, but I'm going to turn on research mode right here. And then after that's on, you can select your model. If you want something quick and dirty, you can use the Sonnet, or if you want something highly accurate is Opus 4.6. For today's purposes, I'm just going to use Sonnet, but if you're looking to do a ton of company research, you can go ahead and use Opus. But yeah, I'll select Sonnet 4.6. And then from here, I can type in my prompt, which I've created for company research, and I've pasted in here. But I'll just go through this very quickly. So right now, as an example, I'm doing strategic research on Gong. It's popular sales software. I'm sure you've heard of it. And let's say I just want to target them, assuming that I am a rep at N8N. So we can see what the prompt looks like very quickly. The objective is to produce an insight-dense briefing that helps an enterprise seller understand Gong's business. And this could be plugged in with whatever company that you're targeting. You'll output an executive summary, what Gong does, how they make money with their business model, funding and financial signals, something that's really important, and opportune times for sellers to reach out, recent strategic moves, things like AI launches, acquisitions, etc., key decision makers that might be more visible in public. AI and automation strategy. This is specific to the product that I'm selling, but something that would also be applicable across the industry now, where my company can help. So the research agent can actually observe and use N8N's public website to be able to understand what N8N does and how that fits into Gong's strategy and do deep research on that. Look up sales signals and then have research guidelines. So fully built out prompt, and this is what we're going to be working with. One quick note is you can see how in-depth this prompt is, right? Oftentimes I see people just type in, hey, tell me about this company, but that's not enough. If you give it a properly research and what exactly you'd like as a seller, that is something that just takes the outputs to the next level. Here specifically, I'm giving Claude a role. Hey, you're a seller at N8N looking to sell into Gong. And a lot of that context is what helps it provide a good output. Now, once you feel confident about the prompt, this research mode is really accurate because it's going to look across the internet, websites, and it's going to do a very deep analysis. So oftentimes I see it takes in between 9 and 12 minutes. So yeah, make sure you get the prompt exactly how you want it. And then once it's good to go ahead and ship it off, and we'll wait for this to be completed. So right now, Claude is doing exactly what used to take me hours. It's pulling from the company website of the company I'm targeting. It's checking recent press releases. It's looking at funding data, and it's citing actual sources. So this is not just hallucinated data. It's pulling from real websites and giving me links that I can verify. And because we've done an in-depth prompt, we're going to see the difference between real AI research that's useful and then AI research that just gets you embarrassed on a call, right? You definitely want to give it the most powerful input and in-depth inputs that you can to get a more quality output. Guys, we're back and we've completed the deep research. You can see here it took about 9 minutes and 4 seconds. But if you look at it, it looked at 362 sources to get the information for this report that we generated. For any of my accounts, I don't think I've ever looked at more than like 20 sources. But now with AI, we can look at hundreds of resources. So that way we can get a really accurate picture of the target prospect. So now the sales briefing is ready. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. Okay. So, it gives you an overview of Gong, 300 million plus ARR. Here it gives us a section on what it does and why it matters. Let's keep going. We understand a bit more about their business model, how they make money, where it competes. We can see their competitors. We can see key signals like funding. Have they gotten funded recently? What do their numbers look like? Strategic moves in an automation hungry company. That could be interesting for us. I think here is something that this prompt specifically does well, is that it surfaces folks that we might reach out to, prospect into, people that are likely to champion it or might block this deal. It's actually able to look at the site, look at the key executives, see their background, when they joined the company, what are the companies that they've been a part of. So just a full breakdown of what a sales rep would need to properly research the company. I find this fascinating because getting any of this level of detail back in the past, that was nearly impossible, right? It would have to be very, very manual and take days to get something like this. So yeah, the key stakeholders are important. We can see some insights into their strategy, but where it might be limited. So we can keep going. And here is another interesting component. So I've plugged in N as my company on where N can add value. But in your prompt, you can plug in the company that you work for. You can get a point of view established. So here we're looking at automation within the company, how we can improve onboarding, security, etc. So a lot of deep insight that you can get from this research, and it's able to do this in 9 minutes. I mean, that's just impressive. That would have taken 9 days before. So I'm not going to go through all of this, but you can see how incredibly detailed it is. So this is some really great insight. We can take a look at this before a call with a prospect at Gong and be really well researched on their business so we can bring insights and how our software can help them. However, it doesn't just stop there. If you take a look at this drop down right here, we can download this as a markdown or download this as a PDF. So we can actually take this knowledge and apply this as a knowledge base for other sales tasks that we have. Think about writing custom sequences for cold outbound, or if you've got a brief that you need to let one of your executives know before they join a call, this can be a knowledge hub for future AI requests. So I'll go ahead and download this as a PDF. Boom, I saved this as a PDF so I can learn about the company, but then also use it for future sales tasks. Now, in this quick demo, we saw how we can do deep research on one potential prospect or customer that we're looking to research on. Now, the question everyone asks is, can you do this at scale? The answer is yes. So I personally run this for my entire target account list. I can take my ICP, pull the company names, and feed them through one at a time. Each one takes about 10 minutes. But the reality of it is you can plug this into Claude, do it one by one, or if you download Claude Cowork, you can have an Excel sheet, and Claude Cowork will go through every single account on that Excel sheet to do deep research and give you a PDF or a document outlining the research for all of your accounts. I personally have 50 accounts. I was able to plug them to Claude Cowork, ship off my 50 accounts in that Excel sheet, and let Claude Cowork do the rest. So that's a full territory's worth of research in a single sitting. This just wasn't possible before. And if you're not using this today, you certainly should, because that's what's going to give you the advantage as a seller. If you want to grab the exact research prompt template that I just used, plus the framework that I use for all of sales automation, it's all available in my school community. The link is in the description. Go check it out. It takes 2 minutes to start using it. Now, the workflow that we saw today is already saving me days of manual work. But here's where it gets interesting. Like I mentioned before, we can plug this research in and feed it directly into all of our other sales tasks. Think about cold outbounding, creating presentations. So what we're doing here is building out the foundation for how we can truly automate in sales. And this is what AI research enables us to do at scale. In my future videos, I'm going to show you how we can use this research to build more custom assets like one-pagers, things that would really elevate your skills as a sales rep. And finally, this same approach that we looked at, it can work for competitive intel, market mapping, and even preparing for things like QBRs. So using Claude Research is a foundational tool And what you build on top of it is really up to you and your own creativity. All right, y'all, that's it for this workflow. Obviously, a really simple workflow, just turning on a research mode and feeding in a high fidelity prompt. But now, with just that, you can see that we're no longer spending days to manually research accounts. You don't have to tab hop anymore, scour through LinkedIn or read 10Ks that don't make sense. AI does that heavy lifting and you can get back to selling. Again, that research prompt template is in my school community. Link is in the description. We're looking to build out a community of sellers who want to be super powered by AI. So if that sounds interesting to you, please check out the link and join today. If you like content like this, AI, sales automation, workflows that actually save you time, drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out. And please let me know what you want me to automate next. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.